morning, 8th grade. Welcome to week 7, day 2. Today is May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. So I'm going to walk you through what you are responsible for today. I'm not feeling the best this morning, so just bear with me. I am modeling in a different space today, so hopefully it still is as effective as usual. So we're going to go to our classwork tab. We would go to day 2. So you have your lesson on systems with elimination, and today we are focusing on elimination by subtraction. So I have the reminder of the steps we're going to use to solve using elimination with subtraction. There's also a video where this teacher also takes you through the subtraction method when using elimination. So it's only about 4 minutes. I think sometimes it's better to hear it from someone else. So that's why I gave you that resource to use if you would like to. So here's your lesson. You would click on it. I'm going to use this one just because I feel like it's a little bigger for you to see. So our warm-up is solving using elimination with addition. I'm happy to see that you guys did actually very well with it. For those of you that submitted your work, I was very impressed by how quickly you picked it up. And I think it might be because some of you were already kind of seeing this connection between the equations, that you can eliminate certain variables to make it easier to solve for the other. So I thought that was really nice to see that connection being made. So in the system, you'll notice that our y's are opposite, and anytime we have opposite coefficients, we know we can eliminate through addition. So the work here is shown. I didn't do step by step this time because I feel like we just spent the whole day yesterday doing that, but you'll notice that our y's are eliminated. We add vertically. We would have got 7x plus 0 equals 14. We take away the eliminated term. To solve for x, we divide by 7. We get 2. And then you take that 2 and plug it into either equation. I chose the top one here. So you see the 2 is in place of x. We solve, and we get y equals -1. And we write our solution as x comma y. Okay, so as mentioned, we're going to be going into elimination by subtraction, and we are going to use subtraction when the coefficients have the same sign. So this is the same link I mentioned before. The process of elimination by subtraction is very similar to addition. It's just now we're going to be looking for when our coefficients are the same. Because if we have the same coefficients, when we subtract them, their difference will be 0, and that variable will now be eliminated. The only thing that you have to, I can't say it enough, have to remember, when we subtract, you must remember to use keep, change, change. If you forget to use keep, change, change, or do not include all of the minuses or the negatives that are in your problem, that is where I see a number of common mistakes happen. So be very mindful of those signs. I think it's smart to write them out, kind of like how you guys saw me doing it yesterday underneath the equation line. And I'm going to continue doing that today so that you can continue the same type of procedure. I think it helps to keep track of your work and to avoid those minor mistakes. Okay, so step 1, we look to see which coefficients are the same, and I hope by now you are seeing that 3x and 3x are the same. So we're going to use subtraction this time to eliminate. So I have that equation right here. So I'm going to put my equation line, I'll put my minus symbol, and then I'm going to separate my terms with my vertical line. Okay, so here we have 3x minus 3x. That's going to give us 0, so our x's will be eliminated. Okay, then we have 3y minus -y. So here's where a common mistake happens. A lot of students would just write 3y minus y and forget that we are using subtraction. So this is actually 3y minus -y. And then when we use keep, change, change, we would now get 3y plus, I'm going to change that to positive y, which I can combine to 4y. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing here. So I have 6 minus, because we're using subtraction, -6. Okay, so again, keep, change, change. and that would now give us 6. We keep, we change the minus to a plus, and we change the negative 6 to positive 6. So now we have 6 plus 6, which will bring down our equal sign, equals 12. Okay, so this right here, I'm actually going to get my highlighter. Hopefully it's still working. This right here is where the common mistakes are made. Students forget that you are subtracting that second term. So the sign that's in front of the second term is not the place value for the operation. It's two separate symbols. Okay, so just be very mindful of that when you use the subtraction method. So I'm going to now just rewrite this without my eliminated term, my 0. So I'll be left with 4y equals 12. And then to get y by itself, we divide by 4. That'll cancel to 1, or simply y. And 12 divided by 4 gives us 3. Okay, so we have y, and then we pick either equation. I think I'm going to pick the second one to plug it in to solve for x. So my second equation was 3x minus y equals negative 6. I'm going to replace the y that's here with positive 3, so it's going to be 3x minus 3 equals negative 6. Okay, and now we would inverse to start getting our x alone. So I'm going to add 3, cancel. I'll be left with 3x equals negative 6 plus 3 is a negative 3. And then when we divide by 3, we will get x equals negative 1. Okay, so we have y, we have x, and then you should know by now, we always write our final answer as a solution, which would be x first, so negative 1, comma 3. Okay, so the subtraction for elimination is really not much different from what you guys were doing with addition. Once you get past this keep, change step. I'm telling you, this is where your common mistakes will be made, so just be very mindful of how you are writing those expressions to simplify the vertical differences. Okay? All right, so if we go back to the lesson, you guys have exactly what I just modeled there for you. Same solution, negative 1, 3. And then you have your steps that I just took you through. Notice I have a big star, capital letters. Remember to keep, change. Okay? I'll do one more with you and then I'll send you guys on your way. So we're going to look at this equation, well, this system of equations, I should say, and we are looking now which coefficients have the same coefficient, the same value. And this time we see that our y's have the same coefficient. So those are going to be our eliminated terms. So I hate the shadow my phone's making. So I'm going to put my equation line, put my minus, right? Put my vertical lines down, and we are going to start subtracting. So here it would be 4x minus 6x, and then I would use keep, change, and I would get 4x plus negative 6x. So 4x plus negative 6x would leave us with a negative 2x. Okay, then I move down here. I'm going to do 3y minus, because we're subtracting, 3y. And 3y minus 3y gives us our 0, so that's why our y's get eliminated. And then we have our last one. We have 19 minus, because we're subtracting, 33. So we do keep, change, and I get 19 plus negative 33, and 19 plus negative 33, gonna make me think about it, will give us negative 14. Okay, so let's just bring this down. So my 0 is here, so plus 0, and my equal sign is here. We then rewrite it without the eliminated term. And then I will simply divide by negative 2 to isolate x. These will cancel. We get, remember, a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so we get x equals 7. And then from there, we pick either equation. We don't really have like an easy option for this one, unfortunately. Let me see which one I picked in the lesson so I keep it the same. Okay, I picked the second one. So we'll do 6x plus 3y equals 33. So I'm going to take 7, plug it in for x. So we have 6 times 7 plus 3y equals 33. And now I start simplifying. So 6 times 7 would give us 42 plus 3y equals 33. I'm going to inverse the constant to minus 42 to both sides. That'll cancel. I'm left with 3y equals negative 9. And then we would divide by 3. And I would get y equals negative 3. Okay, so again, we have x, we have y, we write our solution. So I'll put that here. So my final solution would be 7, comma, negative 3. And again, looking at my work, where I see the most mistakes happen will be right here. When students subtract and they forget to keep change. Okay, a lot of students will tell me that, I don't know, this answer is 14, or students will tell me this is a positive 2x instead of a negative 2x. So you have to be very, very mindful of those keep changes that happen in the problems, okay? And I also have them here in your lesson as well. You'll see them in red as a reminder, and I make the changes in red as well, so you see the change in the terms. All right, same solution, 7, negative 3. So you'll try one on your own, the answers follow, and then you have your Google form and Google Doc, same as how you guys have been doing for the past week as well as yesterday. So you'll answer them in the Google form, and then you'll answer them on the worksheet. I think it might be easier to do the work first, like this, and then submit your Google form, because I know some of you were like getting confused because the form like switched the order of the questions. So just be mindful of like, this is number 1, this is number 2, because on your form they may come like in a different order. I know Jacob asked me about that. The setting is set for the questions to mix. So I think that's why that was happening, okay? So I'll just show you where that is as a reminder. So here's your Google form. Scroll down, it's right there for today. And then here is your worksheet right here for you to submit using any of the options provided, okay? Stay safe, 8th grade.